I hope my internet holds out.
It started recording. Hello, everybody. I'm
Hello,
Tarjani.
and I'm Nadia Business, and welcome to our channel. So here we're gonna share our real stories. They're gonna be raw. They're gonna be real. Just real banter chat between sisters. Our channel, Sisters and Stories. Because we find that our experiences and the things we talk about probably aren't just unique to us, but putting them out there is both therapeutic and it's a way to connect with others. Why? Because history has a funny way of repeating itself, and we have generations coming up, and they think they're the only ones that are going through, or everybody's much as much to them, whatever. If you can relate, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let us know if you can relate to this discussion or just the sister banter, honestly. So, hopefully, our stories spark conversations and bring perspective to shared experiences. Maybe you'll find pieces of your own story in ours. Maybe you'll gain new insights. Who knows? Whatever. But this is our story, and we're sharing it with you.
Now, the names are made up, but the stories are definitely real.
Oh
Um,
yeah, because we got good jobs, and I
you got a
don't.
good job.
And I'm hiding this from my family. I ain't even telling them.
So yeah, these are real stories from our childhood, from our teenage, from our adult life. Maybe it'll
Yes.
resonate with you. Who
Mhm.
knows? But yeah, we're just putting ourselves out there. You know, maybe you'll hear something similar to your life, and you'll know it's not just you, and you're not alone. Sisters and stories, because these are literally our stories.
And we gonna talk about some people.
So we definitely got to talk about some people.
Do you get the code names that I sent for our relatives?
I do. I do. I have to pull them up, but I do have the alternative names.
The alternate names. Because some of these people need calling out.
Yeah, but we're not trying to get sued for libel, so
I know.
we're just gonna
Absolutely.
change some names. And if you know us, don't mind your business.
Exactly. None of your business. Okay, today's
So,
topic. Let's go into the first discussion. What do you want to talk about? I know what I want to talk about. I'm thinking about talking about tardiness.
okay, yeah, let's open a can of worms. Let's talk about tardiness. I can do tardiness today. Go for it.
So, what do you think about tardiness?
Um, I think my sister's being petty because I was tardy to this thing. But me and my sister have different lifestyles, right? And so I have a larger family. I'm not going to say how many kids I got. And a lot of obligations. Um, and so where my sister definitely has obligations, I just think she prioritizes her time a lot different than mine, and she doesn't have as many people to tend to. So where I'm really, really working very hard on my punctuality, a lot of things get lost in the sauce. Like today was a trash day because so many people demanded so much of my time that I will be working my real job late into the evening because there's just not enough time in the day to do the things that need to be done during reasonable hours.
Okay.
So I would love some grace and
Oh,
remembrance.
Grace is my middle name, but I'm just looking at a 4.5 hour difference from a time you said, and I don't know.
I know that was trash. It was a horrible day. I do apologize, as I did earlier today. But yes, it could be frustrating. I
I had to
understand.
twiddle my thumbs to find out.
You had to what?
Girl, my internet is unstable. We're gonna have to fix this. I said I might just stop being petty for a second, but I am gonna call you out every time you late because it's like 4.5 hour difference. We supposed to
I
meet
get
up
it.
at 4. 4 is 8:30.
Facts.
Okay, whatever, whatever. So, all right, let's just go back through the childhood and let the audience get to know us a little bit better. We from somewhere in America. Somewhere.
America.
America. We come from the streets, and you know, it hadn't been easy. We come up rough, pretty rough. And I bet a lot of people have, and that's totally fine. But it produced some things. And I
Definitely had to look up to see the poverty line.
Oh yes, yes, it produced some things, and I feel like that's why we have so much to talk about, and and I'm sure a lot of people maybe they don't talk about it. I know that now I work in corporate America, and I find that I run into people who came up like me, but it's like we hide it, with how we talk, how we dress, everything.
Definitely got a code switch.
Yes, code switch, girl, code switch. And, I'm just like, hmm, they talk about being authentic, and I think we bring our best selves to work when we are authentic, but I don't think they really, really want authentic us. Not for real, for real.
No, I think they'd be a little scared.
I think
I had a
so.
coworker once who was like, I think I
Hmm.
was fussing at my dog or something. And she was like, "You get angry?" And I'm like, "It's my childhood. I'm angry all the time." She's like, "I just can't imagine you yelling." And I'm like, "Because you only see me at work. But right
No.
now you caught me working from home and the dogs were doing what dogs do and I was over it." Just go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you yell."
And you can get it too. Did you tell her that?
Nah, she's sweet. She's super sweet. I would never.
Oh,
She's a really cool person. But it was just the fact that we worked together for over a decade. And, post COVID work at home environment. And yeah, she was like, she had never heard me yell. And I just thought that was hilarious because my family would say something totally different.
exactly. I was just like, why are you yelling at that dog?
Yeah, well, the dog needed yelling. Dog wasn't listening.
I'm a cat person.
She is.
So, we grew up in the same house. I feel like there's some kind of, there's big differences. You have a bigger family. I have a smaller family. You're a dog person. I'm a cat person.
Yeah, nothing's off the table. She's the keeper of my secrets. She's my actual sister. She knows where all the skeletons are. She's there when some of them were created.
Oh, I'm Christ-like. I was born on a innocent child's prayer to a virgin.
I was the innocent child. I prayed for a sibling. I didn't know what I was asking for. I'm glad I got it though.
One of my parents
She's
was
my
a
personal
virgin.
person.
Definitely not afterwards. Well, technically, they both were, because one of her sign is Virgo, and then the other person was a virgin. So I'm like double virgin born on a child's prayer.
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to the zodiac, so I'm just gonna have to say okay.
All right, we'll go there. Okay, well, let's talk about Ursula and what's her other name? The other one. Cause so we sisters,
Ursula,
we sisters, but we have a good relationship. But some of our
we're Ursula and
aunties,
Cruella.
Cruella, yes, and I know which one is which. It don't take rocket science, so we can go ahead and chop that up. Ursula is in the hospital, and
Ooh,
Cruella is not that far
does not want to.
behind. How was Cruella when you saw her the other day?
Um, I don't know. Like I did some math, right? It's funny you mentioned that. I did some math, and Cruella's in her 70s, and Ursula is almost in her 70s, if not like right there.
And they sisters too.
And they're sisters too. And so, When I did the math and I realized where they are age wise in life and health and stuff, it really was motivating for me to go to the gym. So me and my husband, we're both married. My sister and I were both married. Um, Ursula and Cruella, incidentally or not. But I agreed to go to the gym with my husband 3 times a week. And so part of the tardiness was I had to do that because I wanted to commit uninterrupted time to this podcast. Um, but seeing their health decline, it was very motivating for me to do something about my health while I'm still at an age where some things can be reversed. Um, it's really sad because they're really angry with each other. And I hear both sides of the stories. And I'm just like, even though Nadia sometimes get on my ever loving nerves, I just can't imagine being mad at her to the point that I don't want to talk to her ever again. Like I might not want to talk to her for an hour or two or maximum a day.
I
And
think
that's
I
it
can
was
go
really
maybe a
bad.
month. I mean, I can go longer.
To not talk to me?
Girl, but I'm antisocial sometimes. Like I'm
Well, no, no, no. I don't mean being like when you're in your antisocial moment where you just don't want to deal with nobody and it's not
oh,
personal.
yeah, that's
I
different.
mean, like legit, you don't want to talk to me as a person. Like I even when we've had beef or issues, like I still want to fix it with you because you're my friend. And so I think actually that's part of the problem. I don't think Ursula and Cruella are friends to the point where they want to fix their relationship and because they're sisters, that's sad.
I just don't understand where it come from because how could you not? Because I feel like we grew together in trauma. You know what I mean? It's like going through war with your battle buddy. How can you not remember what you went through and that not like bring you closer? Because we went through it and we survived.
So I think when um I'm trying to give a name because this name isn't on the paper.
Just make it up.
I am. When gosh, I'm trying to think of something good that you'll know exactly who this is. When Pistachio died, a lot of anger came out preparing for that funeral.
Oh, I thought I did have that person on
No,
there.
you didn't. You didn't. You
Girl,
didn't. You didn't.
I don't know how,
So
because I feel like I did. I just
I
make
promise
sure.
you don't. I'm looking at the paper.
Well, let me
And
look at the
so,
paper too. So I'm just because I might be thinking of
but
the
I
wrong
have to look.
person.
Uh,
Pistachio,
well,
that ain't Bob.
no, no, Bob is Bob. Pistachio is the other one that died.
There was another one.
Yes. Think about it. Count everybody.
Girl, I did look at the paper. I missing
And
people.
you missing a whole person.
I'm missing a whole person. Let me think about it. Just text me. I wonder who Pistachio is. It's been a minute.
So during Pistachio's before the services leading up, the family's together and man, I'm grown. I mean, like I'm grown, my kids are grown.
I did leave
And
Pistachio out, and
you
that's
did leave
okay.
Pistachio out. And so in preparing, the family get together the day before, the weeks before, the day before, and just some of the things that I saw the night before and the morning of the actual funeral really made me look at a lot of people real sideways because I'm like, just the lack of cohesiveness in the family during this very tragic time. And then now we're putting, like the night before I remember it was a bunch of secrets that, like I said, I'm grown enough that my children are grown and I had them when I was grown, so super grown. And I found out things about Cruella and Ursula that I never knew. And I would say that I'm decently close. Spent the night, hung out, went on trips the whole nine as a kid, teenager into college. So it was things I found out that I know it's not a lie because the person, the other person wasn't like, "Oh, you lying on me." They were like, "You was never supposed to talk about that."
It was
So
bad. It was
it
bad.
was
I didn't
bad.
since we, we operating under code names, I feel like we can go ahead and say what's on this mud they were slinging at each other, telling they
I
things.
am not prepared to do that to them. That's a little. So
But
it
they
was
don't know. They don't know.
okay.
It's code
So it
names. So
was
like,
like multiple abortions, like in the double digits. I never knew that. Never needed to know that. Could have died without knowing that. And I just felt like that was one of those take it to your grave situations. You know what I mean?
so
Um,
so hold on, wait. Cruella. No, no, Ursula threw in Cruella's face her abortions in front of
yeah,
everybody.
yes. And some of these people are were, new to the family.
That's
Not
insane.
raised in a family, but spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, that sort of type relationship. So this not only am I finding out, my spouse is finding out something he never needs to know, something I never needs to know. And it was for no purpose. Like it didn't serve to better the conversation.
I
And
think
grief shows itself in very ugly different ways. But just to experience that, and then Cruella throwing in to Ursula's face how she couldn't have kids because she actually went through menopause at an extremely early age, which I didn't find out. I knew she'd never had kids, but I thought it was because she wasn't married. And in actuality, it was because she went through menopause at a very early age, like before she was even thinking about having kids. So they were just mudslinging. It wasn't even mud; it was like concrete slinging, like pow, 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 pow. And it was funny, but tragic at the same time because
it was that's insane. That's the level of insanity and trauma that they carry. And everybody's over, preparing for a funeral and they get to snapping at each other and throwing whatever hurts at each other. And these are the things that they throw. Deep, deep.
yeah, like I can't imagine. I know your secrets, you know my secrets. Even if you totally tick me off, I'm not throwing that mud out there because at the end of the day, one, I want us to make up, and two, you're my sister. Like what? Like now,
Yeah.
will I say that when it's just me and you, offline, just us? Like yeah, but would I say that in front of people? Heck no, because I never want anyone to look at you in such a negative light. Like that's crazy.
I wasn't there for that fight, but I can tell you that Cruella is traumatized because she just said she hates Ursula. She won't come to her funeral if she died, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, wow, like they're
He said
left.
that again a couple of days ago. Whenever I saw her, it was I don't want to hear the name. I don't want to hear anything about her because, like you just mentioned, right now Ursula's in the hospital, and Cruella's like, I'm over there checking on Cruella, and she doesn't want to know, so I don't say, hey, your
Can't bring it
sister's in
up.
the
Can't bring
hospital.
it up.
Can't bring it up because I'm not trying to get in the line of fire. I got enough going on in my day to day. But it's three sisters actually. It's Ursula, Cruella, and Futurama. And Futurama, you know, it took a whole lot of life to find some grace for that one. Because I reflect on myself and Ursula and Cruella, and I'm just like, okay, not that it excuses the behavior, but I can see how it's like Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events where certain things aren't tamed or addressed and dealt with in the child state. When you grow up to an adult, you still experience some of those childlike behaviors, and it's got to be fixed.
Mm. Yeah, so Futurama is our parents. Futurama is a hot mess. A
Yeah,
hot.
but so not excusing the hot mess personified. Um, but do you ever see yourself finding grace for her?
Oh, absolutely. I find grace for all of them. But I can't really. It's like I can relate, but then I can't because I don't want that to be my story. Um,
Girl, cannot be. Absolutely cannot be.
absolutely not. I'm like, I get it. I get it. You come from
Trauma and tragedy and poverty.
exactly. I mean, like projects, like poor. You know,
Look
they
up
might
to a
have
poverty
even
line.
done experiments on these poor folks because that's what they do if you look at news
Definitely.
news and history. So poor. And yeah, no way. But I mean, Futurama is 1,000% narcissist, like cray, beyond cray. And it's like some
Ain't no
people
way.
feed on that stuff. She just needs drama. And I'm like, I just can't because it's not my normal. I purposely, intentionally worked on being opposite of, et cetera, et cetera. Like some people say, oh, you know, I drink because of my parent, and then you have some people say I don't drink because of my parent. I don't because my parent was like this, so I don't, and I gotta make sure I reprogram whatever I gotta program in my dinner, my DNA.
Not the Dana.
I got to reprogram the dinner, and not live that same repetitive cycle. And it's just so sad because, you said earlier you were doing the math at how old they are, and they're
That's always
still,
a visual.
they never
Like,
figured it out.
well, I'm looking at them physically, right? I'm just like, oh, the gray hair, the teeth or no teeth, the stature, the canes, all of that stuff, right?
You said stature,
Uh,
you mean weight? Because they carry all them
Well,
weight.
no, not the weight, but like the physical standing, like how they stand, needing the cane, not being able to physically move from space to space without some sort of outside assistance, like a cane or a wheelchair or whatever. And I'm like, this is my genetics, like legit. And so, um, being conscientious of that, taking steps now to make sure that um, I don't end up that way. That's not my future. I look at my other side of the family and how active they are. And it's not like everybody's going to the gym or something like that, but just like my other grandmother, it took her to get kind of ill, and she started taking her health seriously. And I'm already chronically ill, um, and I was able to lose some weight, but working on losing more, eating better, you know, taking care of myself because seeing them in their 70s and seeing my other family in their 90s and just the difference. And so it was really an eye opener, but something I think you were about to say, carrying that mental weight. It's like how much happier would you be if you just said, you know what, I'm gonna put this down, um, and I'm gonna move forward, and not discounting the what is it? Discounting the experience because that makes and shapes who you are, but making sure as you go forward, like you said, I'm not this way because I've seen where that takes you. So it's a concentrated effort on mental health, physical health, spiritual health. Because I would hate, gosh, we cannot. Let's promise right now, no matter what life throws at us, we will not be like Cruella and Ursula. Can we agree to that?
Yep. I will not get stupid with you.
Yeah, no, it's not necessary
Yeah, or for any other reason. I'm just saying, because that's just not my normal. And it's something that
at all.
when you come from places like we've come from and you've survived, sometimes people create systems that they have to survive in constantly around them. And they don't even realize they're doing it to themselves. And I had to really,
Oh,
but it's true. It's true. People
it
create
is
their
true.
own hell, girl, and they don't even know because they stuck in patterns of behavior where they're creating what they're used to around them.
Yeah, that's trash.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
That's trash and insane because it's like, I
And like
guess
this what I'm
at
used
some
to.
point yeah,
Hmm.
but who wants to be used to that? Like, so, okay,
Hmm.
I at one point was diagnosed with like anxiety depression, right? Had to take medication for it, get some therapy. Black people, black men, black women, please get therapy for your childhood trauma. It's very liberating. Um, and so when I can say from personal experience, I used to think, 10 7 to 10 thoughts simultaneously all the time. Then I took some medicine that quieted some of the thoughts where, it'll be like two or three. You know what I mean? Still not one, still not nothing, like two or three. And just not realizing that living in a constant state of stress, what it was doing to my body. Like when I removed the stress, got therapy, got help, unpacked some of the childhood trauma, unpacked why I made some trash decisions in my adult life because I was still trying to fix my childhood, right? The inner little girl. Worked on those things, worked on myself diligently, quieting my thoughts, getting rest. I was an insomniac for like 5 years and I didn't know it. I just thought everybody woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and stayed woke until 5:30 and took a nap and then went to work. Like that's insane, like clinically. And so for you listeners, if you have unaddressed childhood trauma, there's nothing wrong with talking about it. Talking to a professional about it is great to talk to your friends, but sometimes talking to a professional offers insight, unbiased insight, um, because some of it might be you. For me, for a long time, I thought I was thinking was okay because it's my brain. But then I found out, like other organs, my brain was broken. And so I had to fix it.
Hmm. Well, that's what I said about being intentional about creating new normals. And sometimes,
Absolutely.
girl, sometimes you do need to talk about it. You do need to hear other people's perspective on it because it could be like, your own fart. It smells fine to you, but everybody else is gagging.
That's funny. That's real funny.
Oh, it's a true story. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't know you're in it, and it just be like what it is. So, and I'm just being unruly because
Yeah.
Nadia
Truth is
business.
truth.
Yes, it's true thing. Y'all know my name, so I'm just gonna put it all out there. And this is a community again where you can talk about this with you know, with us or other people in the channel. So feel free to leave your comments. Because I think, again, a lot of our experiences are just obviously not common to us, but sometimes we bottle it up and we don't talk about it. Maybe we do get out of where we came from, but a lot of things aren't addressed and it's just kind of bottled up. Or, you know, I think talking about it also helps us express our authentic selves while we're still becoming who we intentionally set out to be. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I like where I've been and who I am because it's obviously made me who I am. It's made me more conscious of what another person might have been through and what made them them. You know, a lot of people see a person and they might see their success, but they never saw their struggle. So that's a thing too.
Yeah, I agree.
So, back to the mudslingers. I guess we can continue that conversation on another episode because I'm sure Ursula and Cruella are gonna keep coming up because wow. Okay, I got lots of stories, and situations to discuss about Ursula, and dealing with relatives or getting up there in age and they just don't want to let it go. Let it go. Isn't there a Disney song like that?
Yes, from Frozen.
Oh, Frozen. Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes people are frozen in time and they do need to let it go so they can move forward
Yes. And
out of the blizzard of their own creation.
that's a whole nother topic. So, anywho, thank you for finally getting on here with me. I
Oh, the petty is loud with this one.
Oh yes, it is. It will be loud forevermore. Cause I have to point it out. Cause how can you fix it if you don't know? I gotta be.
Maybe I know, and I'm just busy.
I'm not being
We'll get into
mean.
that in the
I just
conversation.
I'm being helpful.
Ain't nobody paying attention to her, y'all.
Oh yes, I'm so helpful. I'm like fix that thing right there, right there. Anywho, thanks for joining us today, and hopefully we'll have another interesting topic or more stories to share later. I guess today we might title this like the Mudslingers. Maybe add in some animated tea.
Yeah. It's the first episode of what will be many episodes. Let's just chit chatting, talking, you
Sisters
know.
and stories.
Yep, these are our stories.